Hello, my name is Drayson. My name in drag is SonnyD. The D stands for Doom Patrol.
Never needed anyone.
What the fuck is going on?
We're all reaching.
It's just for fun.
We're fucking coming, man!
All by myself.
Today I'm going to be recapping / reviewing the 4th episode of DC's Doom Patrol on HBO Max. Before we get started, I know this video is slightly late. Listen, it's the holiday season. We ain't got all the time in the world to be filming, so I'm sorry. But let's just get into it. The episode opens with the pages of a comic book being animated for us, and then it immediately switches over to Dorothy, who is the half-ape, cave-woman, half-human daughter of Niles Calder. Well, she's retelling the story of how she got this necklace that I believe was the same necklace that Dr. Niles Calder used to stay alive all these years, as well as I believe the necklace has the ability to bring back dead spirits to the living world for a moment of time. Well, Dorothy tells everyone how she had to steal the necklace back. Her and her candlemaker, imaginary friend, monster guy. They had to steal it back from someone who had stolen it from Dorothy's father because Dorothy wanted to use it to contact her dead father who passed away in season 2. We then get an update on the character Danny, and Danny was a magical street. Yes, magical street. Like buildings and roads and such. Danny is like the living embodiment of a safe space for the gay community. A lot of ostracized individuals live inside of Danny, who is now an ambulance with a portal to a pocket dimension inside of it. Dorothy happens to still live in Danny, and she lives there with a bunch of queers and drag queens. It's kind of cool. Actually, the whole concept of Danny being this like sentient, safe space for the LGBTQIA, BCDEFG community is really cool, and for a lot of queer people like myself, these comic book movies and shows are like comfort content. In reality, there are a lot of marginalized people that enjoy this comic book content, and there's not a lot of space for us to be able to share our thoughts and opinions on these types of shows or movies without being attacked for us being who we are and enjoying the type of stuff that we do. So the fact that there is a program and a platform this big that is like outwardly showing love and support for us is really, really special. And honestly, this show really inspires me to do what I do, which is hopefully creating a safe space for people like myself and people with different views to be able to share their opinions without the average heterosexual, homophobic, misogynistic viewer to criticize the type of content we enjoy and our opinions on it. So really, I just want to thank anybody who watches this and thank the creators of this show for giving us a spotlight, supporting myself, and everyone in our community. Okay, so back to the show. Dorothy has the ability to bring her imaginary friends and monsters to life. And recently she's been a bit stressed out, and she reads those comic books, which we saw at the beginning of the show, to calm herself down. And it seems like her abilities are being used in this moment while she's reading these comic books. We notice that characters from the books are like coming out of them. But we learn that this might not just be the makings of her own powers, but the use of this necklace that she's been wearing has brought all these bad guys out of the comic books. But she was also able to bring out the one hero that can defeat these bad guys. Although this does seem to be a problem because those comic book characters are fictional, whereas now they are in the real world, so they have to deal with real world consequences. One of those consequences being everyone that lives inside of Danny has now been turned into some sort of mindless killer minions. Anyways, Dorothy and her drag bestie or fairy drag mother, and the hero from the comic book, whose name is Space Casey. Well, they all team up to defeat the bad guy from the comics, whose name is Torminox, who also happens to be Space Casey's father. And he's turned all the people in Danny into those evil minions. And remember when I said at the beginning of the episode, Dorothy had to steal the necklace back with the help of her candle maker imaginary friend monster guy? Well, actually, that was a lie. Really, it was given back to her. And instead of using it to talk to her father, she's really just been stressed out and frustrated this whole time because everyone and everything in her life reminds her of her father, and she just doesn't know what to say to him or even want to talk to him because she's so angry and frustrated and stressed about him. I mean, who doesn't have daddy issues? As Dorothy reveals how she feels, she ends up giving the necklace over to Torminox, who, again, is Space Casey's father. So Torminox gets what he wants, and Dorothy's drag mother, whose name is Morally Corrupt, used to be a cop. Well, Mora decides that a lot of the people inside Danny should venture out and help to create more safe spaces for other people and not just exist in one themselves. Which I kind of love that decision and that whole message in general. So the episode ends off with Dorothy and Space Casey deciding to leave Danny and go on an adventure to find the author of Space Casey's comic book, because Space Casey wants the author to write her a new story where Torminox is a better person and a better father so that they can be in each other's lives. Which we end up seeing the back of the author, who I believe is actually the same man that Keeg, that electrical currency alien baby who lives in Mr. Negative, flew into in the last episode. We also see that in front of the author is the emotion necklace that Rita wore in the last episode, and now the new necklace from Dorothy that Torminox gave him, and he asks if Immortus will give him the life that he's always wanted. Wow, all these stories are starting to come together. I'm really excited to see how this ends, who Immortus is, and everything else. Anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the episode. Again, are you watching the show? Because you really should be. Anyways, thanks for watching. Seriously, love you guys.